Salinas in Ecuador became the latest venue to host an ITU World Cup event, as the coastal resort took centre stage for round 8 in this year's series. The elite women's field of 35 was headed by the USA's Kasper and Summer Cook, both fresh from top 20 finishes in the ITU World Championship Series. The race over the sprint distance started with a one-lap 750-metre non-wetsuit swim in the ocean. Kasper soon hit the front, with Marie Raby and Emma Jackson for company. Cook was tucked in just behind. Despite the shorter sprint distance, the field was soon well strung out as they swam towards the furthest swim buoy and the turn for home. Cook had now got herself to the front alongside Jackson, who was competing in her final race of the year. As they hit the beach, South Africa's Raby exited first, with Cook and Jackson right behind her as the main bulk of the field approached the swim finish. With a win on the African circuit earlier this year, Raby was first out of T1, looking to better her 4th place in New Plymouth back in April. She soon had company as they set off on the 4-lap 20-kilometre bike, part of which took place in the nearby naval base. The bike began with 2 groups, but they bridged up to form a lead pack of 11 before the end of lap 1. 3 broke away from the chase group, including Ecuador's Elizabeth Bravo, looking for a strong showing on home soil. The larger chase group wasn't too far behind and saw 2 Canadians, Elizabeth Boutin and Adrienne Brié-Dulude, at the front. The leaders were handling the course well, as Sweden's Lisa Norden took her turn at the front. The large chase group were losing vital seconds on every lap. Norden and training partner Raby were side by side as they came into T2, desperate for a quick transition. It would be the 2-lap 5-kilometre run that would determine the winner, as both Raby and Norden made a quick start, leaving Cook trailing by a few seconds. The recent winner in Edmonton was soon out onto the coastal streets and pulled up alongside compatriot Kasper. In no time, the 2 Americans had pulled away from the rest of the field, and after a lap, the pair would battle it out between themselves for gold and silver. The rest of the field were now well down. There was a South African duo in the chase group, with Gillian Sanders joining Raby in the hunt for a medal. Cook and Kasper were looking comfortable at the front. It was a question now of who would make the break for gold. Mexican Vanessa de la Torre, winner of the Under-23 and Junior American Championships in Des Moines back in July, had also got herself in contention for a medal. The Americans ran together for virtually the whole race, but with the finish line in sight, Kasper made her move and Cook had no response. Kasper began the World Cup season with a 2nd place in 2/3, but this would be her first win in an ITU race and continued to emphasise the strength in depth the USA has in terms of women's triathlon. Realising the race was won, she could afford herself a smile as she crossed the line 7 seconds ahead of Cook, who had to settle for silver. Meanwhile, Sanders won the battle of the 2 South Africans by coming in 3rd for her first ever World Cup podium finish, and the promising Mexican de la Torre had to settle for 4th.
Yeah, I was just really trying to listen to my body, know like where I was, and obviously I can't control what she's doing, so I just tried to focus on myself, and I was feeling strong the 2nd lap, so I tried to take over and push the pace.
I've been struggling with a pretty bad cough and a sore throat for the last 2 weeks, and I finally started to come around in the last few days, and I'm just thrilled to have been able to put together a good result.
My run's always my strength. My swim sometimes lets me down, so it was just I had to try and get in that front bike pack. I was just off the back, and there were 3 of us that had to work really hard to get on. We got on, and then I knew that I could be in the mix if I was in that front group, so it was just a matter of getting off there and running as hard as I could.